But
But is it,
yeah, go on.
I'd say
Sorry.
like it gets back to like the idea that there are these energies playing out and there's these interests and agendas, of course, at some level, even if it's not on this plane as well. You get into the astral realms as well, and there's these entities as well that are trying to siphon loose. If people know much about Robert Monroe, who coined the term for this astral energy, this it's not astral necessarily, but it's this type of life essence that other beings are harvesting that aren't even like visible to our naked eye, but they exist. They harvest suffering, like disease, pestilence, war, and most religions actually have some form of name for these types of spirits, like demons or jinn and such, to identify these non-physical entities that are actually having an influence in worldly operations to harvest this non-physical force.
Yeah, I knew I was going to enjoy talking to you, Daniel, bro. This is the shit I love to. These conversations are the things I love most delving into. But yeah, that's
That's bridging the physical events that happen back into the
yeah, I
spiritual realms.
absolutely. I mean, this is something that I don't think is spoken about enough within the spiritual realm because it's, understandably, it's more about like love and light and like just focusing on being better people. But I, for better or worse, do believe that there are definitely forces in this world, and for lack of a better term, I would say they are disadvantageous to your personal growth, to the efflorescence of consciousness. And some people would call that like evil, for lack of a better word. I definitely do. Like I may always make a distinction between light and dark, because the common thing you hear is that these are forces in the universe that are neither good or bad. They play a role, right? I make a distinction between that. Like the way in which I define evil is anything that is suppressing our efflorescence of consciousness. Like every sentient being has this will to actually to grow and to express itself, and you see forces that want to restrict that. When we see that manifested sometimes in authoritarian governments that want to suppress your ability to think, to feel, express yourself, and outside of obviously I'm not someone that condones like doing anything that you want, in reference to not harming anyone directly, right? But when we see these forces that are essentially trying to restrict your ability to express yourself, I look at that as evil. But I guess in a more spiritual level, and this comes to my own experience. I don't often speak about this. I tend to be more in the intellectual, scientific space. But I had experiences from a very young age. This is pretty much what shaped much. I guess this was the catalyst to me delving into a lot of this stuff.